Welcome, new teachers, to West Tonka. My name is Jenny Naslin, and along with Megan Laka, we will be facilitating your Edge 21 online new teacher course. The purpose of the Edge 21 course is to introduce new teachers to West Tonka technologies to make sure that you are successful in your first year. If you attended the new teacher orientation, the material in this video were covered there. But if you missed the orientation or you need a refresher, this video will cover all the expectations and the general layout of the course. This course is designed in Schoology and will be composed of 4 units, which are meant to be covered between September and November. The information that will be covered in this video can also be found in this Pack Your Bags Getting Started in the Edge 21 course. In here, you'll find the new teacher training presentation that we did on August 23rd. You'll also find our online expectation video and a video explaining it. This gives a course outline explanation of what you'll find in the course. In this course overview and instruction section, you will find an explanation of how the course is organized and the different types of things that you'll come across. So, in this course, you'll come across some self assessments, basically things just to check to see what you know and what you don't know. None of those are graded, so if you get anything wrong, it's fine. It's more of just to check what you know and what you don't know. Um, if you find that you know a lot of things in a section, you can feel free to skip those things. If you find out, ooh, I really don't understand that, then we would recommend that you spend the time to go through and do those portions of the quiz. You'll find learning lessons that provide you information on the different lessons. Sometimes there's videos, there are links, there are folders that you can use. You'll find application activities in some of the folders where you actually get to apply what you learned and create something. And then lastly, you'll find some checks for understanding at the end of a section and a chance to reflect on your learning. Um, the pacing for this course, you can go at any pace that is comfortable for you. The whole course, though, does need to be completed by November 7th. And then it gives some information on reaching out to myself and Megan Laka if you have questions while you're working on the course. Let's see what else. In units 1 and 2, so I'm just going to navigate back here, right here. In units 1 and 2, you'll find different learning lessons related to the West Tonka technologies for employees and West Tonka classroom technologies. In each learning lesson, you'll find both digital handouts as well as videos that will help you navigate through these technologies. Following each lesson is a quick check for understanding. This is like a quiz that students would take in Schoology, but don't worry, we just want to make sure that you understand all the different technologies, and each quiz is graded on completion and not scored. So, for example, in this West Tonka Technology for Employees, I open up the Learning Lesson folder, and you'll see these are the things that you need to go through. So, for example, the West Tonka dashboard, I would click in there. There's some explanation of what it is, a tour, and then there's a link that's going to take you there and explain what you want to look at when you get to that West Tonka dashboard. Or if I want to look at Skyward, again, I click on it. It's going to explain what it is. There might be links to it, a couple of videos that explain it, some additional resources, and so forth. So those are what the learning lessons look like. And at the end, you will find, when I go back here, if I navigate back, you will find, I'd check both these folders out, and then I'd have a check for understanding. Again, a kind of a quick quiz, nothing huge, just to go in and check that you understood what you learned in that unit. Unit 2 is very similar here to Unit 1, is designed the same way, but it focuses more on the classroom technology. So first, an overview of the ones that we feel everyone needs to use or know about, which is Screencastify and Google Meets. In both of these, you'll see that you do the lesson and then there's a quick check for understanding built in. And again, all of these little checks for understandings are very simple. Same thing with our Google Meets folder here. Once you finish those, then you'll see that it's broken into the primary and secondary folders. So this is usually kindergarten through fourth grade and then fifth through 12th grade. However, if you see something in one of the other folders that interests you, for example, if you're a fourth grade teacher, we oftentimes use Schoology. So you might want to check out the Schoology resource in the secondary classroom folders. When you finished going through all of those materials, you'll see there's a quick check for understanding at the end of that section as well. If I navigate back here, Unit 3 down here, Unit 3 covers all things Google, as we are a Google Apps for Education district. It's very important that teachers in our district know how to use all of the different Google tools available to them. Unit 3 is focused on the Google organization apps. The unit starts with a self-assessment that gives you some idea of which of the learning lessons you need to complete and which lessons you are already familiar with. If you are familiar with the tool, you can skip ahead and do the application portion of the lesson. So, for example, if I go into Google Drive, there's a quick little self assessment that you take. And it'll tell you at the end if this is something we think you understand, then you can just skip through the learning lessons for Google Drive. If there's a portion that you did not understand, we'd recommend that you go through the learning lessons. And then at the end, you click on the application activity. And there's an application activity for all four of these Google Apps portions. And I just want to point out the application and what it looks like. So you'll notice that in the Google Apps application, I'm just going to open a little bit bigger here. They have the beginner section, intermediate section, and then an advanced section. So you get to pick which one you want to do. We want you to do things that are going to be helpful for you in your classroom. So, you can be creative as long as you're covering kind of the main content. You can be creative on what you create and post. And oftentimes, what you'll do is after you finish the application, there's a little discussion place for you to post a screenshot or an explanation of what you did to complete that activity. So that concludes Unit 3, which focuses on the Google Apps portion. Unit 4 down here, the Edge 21 technology integration, focuses on, in this unit, you'll learn about our district's one-to-one initiative, our technology learning standards, and then also our standard-based grading. Within each one of these, there's a quick little discussion post at the end for you to respond in that section. The last folder in our course is the time to unpack and the call for action. In here, you will find a reflection to complete and then an Edge 21 course evaluation. We would appreciate any feedback that you're willing to provide in that Google form. There are a couple other tools built into the course to help you check on your progress. If you click on the calendar over on this side of the screen, you'll see that a lot of the due dates are listed here. But if you click on the full calendar, and I've got to scroll ahead a little bit, but you'll see the due dates, the suggested deadlines for the different units, application activities, and self assessments. You certainly do not have to meet these deadlines as they are laid out for you to make sure that you can manage the pacing for the November 7th completion date. When you complete all of the course materials by November 7th, then you'll earn your 10 CEUs. When you think you're completed with the course, we do check all assignments as frequently as we can, every day or every other day. But if you finish the course, you can always send us an email so we can double check. Um, on the left side of the screen, you'll also see that there's a gradebook feature. If you click on that gradebook feature, you will actually be able to see which assignments you have completed in the course and which assignments you have not completed in the course. So we'd recommend that you check that before when you think you're done to make sure you didn't miss anything. There are, quite a few little check for understandings and those things, and sometimes they can get skipped. So just do a quick little double check to make sure that you've completed everything. We hope this course is a great resource for you, and the goal is to provide resources that you can reference anytime as you get acclimated to the West Tonka technologies. If you have any questions, please reach out to Megan Laka or myself, Jenny Naslund, your Edge 21 course facilitators.